I mean, first memories of a World Cup, obviously I watched a lot of, when I was younger, I used to watch the 1001 greatest goals. I was also a goalkeeper when I was younger, so I used to watch the 500 greatest saves, and a lot of those were in World Cup matches. But my first real memory of a World Cup match was probably when the U.S. hosted the World Cup. It was the first time that I was able to think like, there's a future in this. I remember watching, just being devastated with when the U.S. lost, watching guys, like Jurgen Klinsmann score against the U.S. And things like that, and really starting to get an idea of how big the game really was, and that there, not so much for me, but that there was a whole world outside of the U.S. where this was the most important thing in the world. Our first training session was at Murray Park, which is the training grounds from Rangers. And I remember training there and going on the pitch so nervous with the guys the first day, because it was mostly guys that I'd been watching for a long time on TV, guys who had so much experience and who I'd learned so much from just from watching. I was now on the same training ground as them and played our first possession game, and I just remember connecting my first few passes and realizing, wow, it's, there's, as you go up the levels, it's the smaller things that make a difference. The game's faster, things like that. But I really started to believe that I can make a career of this. I can play with these guys. And I remember then on game day, it was about the 70th minute. They'd sent us to warm up early in the second half, and I didn't really think I'd get in, just stay warm in case there was an injury. And then I remember them calling me over and saying, you're going in. And obviously the Glenn Meyernick came up to me and said, enjoy this experience, you've earned it. I just found out recently that back in the 8th grade that I had started signing my yearbook, people's yearbooks with Heath Pearce, U.S. men's national team on it. And I didn't know that I was doing that then. But I guess I had an idea then of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. I was able to sit back and look and say, I've been part of a 4-year process, a 4-year journey where I've contributed, in some big games and some small games, but every game that I play with the national team is always an honor to play in. And to know that I had been part of it up to that point I wasn't satisfied, but I knew that I was part of the big picture, and knew that I had contributed along the way. So if it stopped there, I knew that I'd given my best. But then to get that call, to see that, on ESPN News, to see your name there, it just kind of, there's a little bit of icing on the cake. And even though I'm not there yet, it's still, it's the next step towards making the final 23. It's an amazing feeling. I couldn't ask for a better place to be playing club-wise. It's because of FC Dallas that I'm in the position that I'm in now, obviously coming off of a stint where it was inconsistent playing time in Europe, and being able to be close to friends and family during all this process and experience is a real honor for me, and everybody here has been so good to me, and I want to be able to share this experience with FC Dallas, with the fans, with the U.S., and it's something that I hope to be part of, and I'm really excited to see where this takes me.